All right, you must have noticed something different. I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing clothes and I'm in a different place. You can see I'm in a different place. Actually, where I am, I'm in the parking lot of the shopping mall. My wife has come for shopping. My baby likes to play in that play area, and me, I have work. I have to do this. I have to do work for my brand, and at the same time I have to be a family man, so I have to improvise. So so this is one of the realities of life, you know. You have to do work, but you have to balance family life and keep everyone happy. So anyway, get used to the surroundings. Since you wanted something different, see, you can see something different. Anyway, even though all this is like just at the background, I think I want to share my thoughts on something rather serious, and that is the burqa ban. Burqa, for those of you who don't know, is that Muslim attire for women where they wear, not only cover their face, they cover their hair and cover everything. As per Islam, a woman is supposed to be covered. So now you have a total of 19 countries that have decided to ban this. Now the funny thing is, it's becoming more and more rampant. In fact, let me just log into one news site, or rather let me just go to my own community tab, where I'll share with you how many countries have banned this. 1 minute. Okay, the number of countries that have banned the burqa. Okay, Austria, Denmark, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Tajikistan, Bulgaria, Cameroon, Chad, Congo, Gabon, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Uzbekistan, Latvia, Switzerland, Netherlands, and parts of China. And now Sri Lanka has joined the group. Now it's not all Christian countries, because you have Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria. These countries are not Christian, or they are not white. So now the question is this racist, or is this, you know, even though Islam or Muslims are not a race, they are a follower of a religion, is this being oppressive towards Muslims or Islam? Is this right? Is this wrong? I'll give you my thoughts. Now, here's a very simple question. Very, very simple question. Okay? If I am a tourist, I'm a Western tourist, or I am Loy Macedo the way I am with tattoos. If I go to Saudi, which is an Arab Muslim country, do you think they would permit a guy with tattoos on his face, which is considered evil as per some Muslims, haram as per some Muslims? And in that particular country, Saudi, a mix of quasi, kind of religion and government, because in Islam involves, Islam as a religion, it has to be involved even with the policies, the government, the governing body, everything. So the government system follows laws laid down by Islam and Sharia law and whatever. So there I'm not allowed. Okay? So what do I call this discrimination? You would say, no, this is the law of the land. Let's say in any of the Arab Muslim countries, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi, Bahrain, let's say a girl is wearing a skimpy outfit. Is that allowed? Open public display of affection, is that allowed? LGBTQ, is that allowed? Being an atheist, is that allowed? So now these things are not allowed. These lifestyle choices are not allowed in these Arab Muslim countries. For that matter, even in India, there are parts of India, even though it's not officially in the law, But girls dressing up openly and all that, you can get some police, moral policing, and they will take a stick and beat you or take you to jail, or there can be a crime. In fact, in India itself, men who have raped other women said, no, they deserved it. We had to teach them a lesson. Actual like cases, Nirbhay case, the rape case, you can actually see Indians who have committed the act of rape, which is horrifying. They have literally said they had to be taught a lesson. Okay, so now I've given you both officially where countries where it is a law for certain things that Western people do not like or non-Muslims do not like, but we have to follow. And I also gave you examples from other countries which are not Muslim, like India, where there are unwritten laws where if you don't follow protocol, you can get in trouble. In fact, in India, you have temples where they don't allow women. Okay, even though the Supreme Court has said, no, women can be allowed anywhere, you have women not allowed. So now, what do? Do you force the people in this temple to accept it? Do you force people to say, no, you have to, all men are equal, all women are equal? Do you force them? Or do you say, okay, law of the land, you have to do what the majority want? Now, I believe, I don't know about others, but this is what I believe. When you're going to a country, respect the rules of the country, respect the law of the land. I can't go to a country and dictate what I want. I can't, like for example, now I'm in Thailand. I can't come here to Thailand and say, listen, this is what my religion says, this is what I want, you all have to comply with it. No, it doesn't work that way. You're a person who has gone to a country, you follow the rules of the country, whether you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it so much so that it is painful, a very simple thing that they used to say in UAE, you don't like, yalla bara, leave. Bara means go. So they are right. If you don't like something, leave. Who's forcing you to stay? Now in France, they made the burqa ban. In now Sri Lanka, the burqa ban. It's the first things first. You don't like the laws, leave. Now obviously you'll say, oh, they are poor. If they are poor, then you follow, no? You follow the rules. There are a lot of rules which I don't like. Like when I was in UAE for 40 years of my life, I wanted to openly speak and give my thoughts and views about Islam, about Arabs, about Muslims. It's not allowed. You're not allowed. You don't have that freedom. So do you think I should have said, oh, this is racism, this is this, this, that? No, nothing. As long as I was staying in UAE, I respected the rules, regulations and laws of UAE. And the day I left, then I did what I want. So why is it so hard for Muslims to accept this? The problem is the sense of entitlement. Oh, we are Islam. Whether it is any religion, where even for that matter, non-Muslims, there are some of them who say, no, this is equal rights, this is, all that bullshit. Black lives matter, this lives matter. Instead of putting a single rule for everyone. Do problems exist? Yes, they exist all over the world. Do rules exist? Yes, they exist all over the world. Do we like all the rules? No, nobody likes rules. Everyone wants to be free. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Muslims, lots, who find LGBTQ, that is the lesbians, the gays, the homosexuals, the transgender people, they cannot accept them. Is it acceptable in Islam? Tell me. Very simple question. Is that acceptable in Islam? No, it's not. And I have personally spoken to Muslims who have said that they would kill such people. They would kill members of their own family. I'm not joking, huh? They have actually said, I will kill my daughter. I will kill my son. In fact, yesterday I spoke to one Somali guy, Somali or Sudani, who is staying in the West. He was sharing with me that his closest friend, ex-closest friend, who was very religious and all, he literally wanted to bomb suicide and kill people because they were not following the teachings of Islam. And he was almost ready to literally do it. And then he chickened out at the last minute. And how did he come to know? He said he was crying and telling, oh, I couldn't do this for Islam. There are psychos who are like that. See, if you ask a Muslim, they'll say, oh, it is unfair to us and all that. But I want you to look at it not from you being a Muslim or anything. I give you a very simple analogy. If I go to a country, should I follow the rules of the country or should the country follow my rules? It's a very simple logical argument which I can challenge you, nobody can refute. If you go to a country, you follow the rules of the country. And one last thing, let's understand why did this burqa ban come into light the first place? Because when you cover the face and when you cover everything, only the eyes, how do you identify who the person is? How do you know it's a man or woman? How do you know if the person is wanted or has a criminal record? How can you figure out who you're talking to? I've seen so many of these, some of these women, they dress up full in black and you can't even see their eyes. I mean, what the fuck is this? Maybe it was acceptable once upon a time in the medieval prehistoric era. We are living in the 21st century. They are saying, oh, you'll be lusting towards women. Lusting towards women when they were these, nomadic herds or, these villager times, backward times. Today, if you're lusting for a woman, you can get enough and more women, man. Yes, there are crimes that are being committed. Yes, see, I'm not saying it's anything wrong. Cover yourself. You want fully cover yourself, both the man and women, both cover yourself. Okay? No issues. But the point of contention here is that this is the rule of the land. You have to follow the rule of the land. If you have a problem, leave. And if you can't afford to leave, follow the rules of the country. And one last thing. Let's understand why France has bought this. Why France and other countries, why have they bought it? Because of all the nonsense that is going on. When you have a guy chopping someone's head off, murdering and all that, you're fueling the narrative. You're giving enough fuel to hate the religion even more. Tell me here's a simple question to you. Simple, very simple. Give me the examples of how many Christians have been chopping other people's head off how many people have been chopping the heads of other people for drawing a cartoon of their religious leader? How many Christians have chopped other people's head off? Answer. How many Hindus have chopped other people's heads off for putting something about their gods? How many people from Jainism, how many people from Buddhism have chopped other people's head off? Can you give me some examples? Yes, there are atrocities against Muslims. I'm not denying that. Like the Rohingya Muslims, yes. What is happening in Kashmir? Not all, in some way. I acknowledge. I call a spade a spade. But then, which is the religion that believes in jihad and where it is translated into whatever? Which is the religion that only believes that we are the right religion? No one else. Tell me, in Islam, is it permitted to worship other gods? No, it's not. Because yours is a very exclusive and inclusive religion that only believes we are right, Allah is the only God, and only our lifestyle is correct. Remaining everyone is wrong. And you can welcome people into the religion, but if you are an apostate, if you leave, there is a price to pay. And I'm not saying you are doing that, but this is a reality. So as long as this bullshit exists, you seriously expect people to embrace Islam and say, oh, it's a religion of peace. You might say Islam is a religion of peace. You have a textbook that is in Arabic, and that too, it is in phrases, in parables, in I don't know, in some poetic verses where everything is surrounded in Arabic, where Muhammad, who is a warlord, he has his own definition of doing things. They believed in conquer and rule. What do you expect? See, I'm not trying to paint all Muslims as bad. There are many Muslims who I have conversations with. There are many Muslims who I talk to. There are many Muslims who are very peaceful people. But we cannot deny that there is this problem with some Muslims, not all. And last, if not the least, I just want to conclude by telling you this. There is no place in this world that is free of racism. There is no place in this world where human beings are all good and nice. Every human being is imperfect. Every human being has good, bad and ugly. Even I'm not perfect. I'm not fair-minded, and I have my biases. And yes, I'm a little biased against these extremist principles of we are right, you're all wrong. I'm a bit biased about that. And given the fact that Islam is one of those religions that cannot accept any other reformation or any other correction, it is perfect as it is. As long as they believe that Islam is perfect as it is, you have a massive, massive problem. Because every Muslim will believe Islam is perfect. I'm a Muslim, I'm also perfect. So anyway, these are my thoughts with regards to the burqa ban. I simply believe there are rules in place of a country. Don't like the rules, leave. You can live with it, stay. You know, if you can't leave, let's say you're poor or something, then don't complain. Make money and get the fuck out. Who's forcing you to stay in France? Who's forcing you to stay in Switzerland? Who's forcing you to stay in Sri Lanka? If you can't have the money, then beggars can't be choosers, my friend. It's as simple as that. So let me know if you think what I said is right or wrong. Like I've told you, there are a lot of rules I don't like, but I follow. And I don't go shouting and crying, oh, this is racism. Rules of the country. You have a problem? Leave. So I hope this explains my stance on the matter. Let me know what are your thoughts. I'll be very interested to know what you think. This is me signing off. You guys take care.